Take a look at this. I have something to show you.
Have you ever wanted to work directly with someone that could change your life and your business? You know, we all pay for things in life one way or another. For some of us, we pay for our lack of knowledge and our lack of education, not exposing ourselves to what could have been. Small decisions often lead to big advances. And oftentimes, fortune will favor the bold ones who take action. Others of us literally pay the price for our information, and we invest in ourselves because we know that is what separates us from those who are simply trying to be their best. We know that trying is not good enough. We must execute the plan, even when it hurts a bit financially. I believe that you are watching this for a reason. You have absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. Nowadays, people know the price of everything and the value of nothing.
And it looks like this time, it's for real.
Come on board. You'll be glad that you did. Welcome home.
So let's talk about one more topic, and then we'll roll. Give me your thoughts on the environment. Like, you know, we get specifically real estate. I guess, you know, there's other topics I want to get to. You know, you got your branding and the funnel, but you know, this changing market.
Right.
All I hear is, you know, I got in when the market was going 2005, 6. Things were going up, you know, everybody was making money, and then it crashed, and, you know, I had some challenges with my business, you know, and I know you just kept plugging along doing certain things, you know, ebbing and flowing, and even to this day, you're doing the same deals you were, you know, similar, I mean,
right,
you know, but similar to what you were doing back then, but you've kind of been able to navigate through the market.
Right.
Talk to me about that. Like, someone gets in now, you know, I look at some of the commercials or the things that you hear. Right. Come to my real estate seminar. I'm going to teach you how to, you know, $99 wholesale. You'll make 20 grand a month.
Right.
And I know what it entails to make 20 grand a month doing wholesale deals.
Okay.
And what I find it's funny is, it's like, you know, you don't need any of your own money, and it's great, and it's true. But then you go to some of these workshops, and unlike where I think you differ, it's you got 100 people, they all want to wholesale, but none of them want to buy, and they're the list. It's like, now you got 100 investors here. You could sell to one of them, but they all want to make 20 grand a month selling, you know, whatever the, you know,
right.
I don't want to go through there's the whole, to explain it all. It's more different than that. But that's just one teeny little strategy and a whole strategy of markets. Right. Give me an overall philosophy of getting in real estate in this changing markets like today.
Well, first things first, I want to say this. I know a lot of speakers. I've spoken on stages with other speakers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't discount a lot of seminars. In fact, I think I get things out of other people's seminars just being there. You know, I started out by attending a lot of them myself. Even now, once in a while, I'll stop into one just to listen and hear who's speaking, and
sure.
Maybe at a RIA or something like that. And I tell you, I might get something different out of the person that's sitting there with an ear that's a little bit skeptical or doesn't believe that it's happening. But a lot of what's talked about, to me, there is a lot of truth to it. Now, if there's some exaggeration at times, I get that. But you know, for the most part, if you accept your reality of what they're saying and you say this could happen for me,
mm-hmm.
there's a lot of reality in these seminars to me. So I go into it with an open mind, and I don't want to discount other speakers or anybody who says anything about it. You know, just to do a wholesale flip, for example, wholesale real estate. You know,
mm-hmm.
if you've never heard of it, wholesale real estate is just putting a property, it's wholesaling anything really.
Right,
You could be
right,
a wholesaler of eBay products.
Rugs.
Of rugs, of little toys,
Yeah.
And we just chose, meaning all real estate investors, we just chose to wholesale products that are bigger and have bigger spreads.
Sure.
Rather than sell a bunch of little trinkets and make a few pennies per sale, we've decided to sell bigger trinkets and make bigger spreads in between. So to do that, you do need a consideration, is what the term is.
Yep.
And that consideration, in some cases, does not have to be a lot of money. It could be a $10 bill. It could be, even less than that in some cases. And that's where you hear this no money down concept. To wholesale a deal, do you need a lot of money? No, you really don't. In fact, that's the beauty of it. Somebody with no credit, no real money to their name, and no experience could find a way to connect two individuals, one who wants a house with somebody ready to buy it, preferably a cash buyer, and you make your spread for being in the middle and making that happen. How are you able to do that without, people say, well, don't you need to be a real estate agent? Not if you've contracted directly with the homeowner and you actually are now a principal in the deal. Your name is on the contract. I am selling this property that I have an ownership interest in because I'm on the contract to another individual. That's the art of the wholesale deal. And you could do that, with a $10 bill consideration if you want to. Sometimes I put a little bit more into a deal just to show a little more good faith. The beauty is that you walk away and you can do a transaction like that. So those deals are real. They're part of my business. Most people that do other strategies also have some sort of wholesaling, capacity to their businesses as well. Buy and hold landlords also, they do some wholesaling sometimes for the cash flow portion of their business.
That's what I did. Yeah.
So I like to, along with the Rivers of Income theme, I think that there's nothing wrong with adjusting strategies in the wholesale market a little bit. Continue to cut your checks for your marketing. As you grow a little bit in the business and you have a little bit of a budget to put towards your marketing, be diligent and consistently do it. I also happen to like the short sale business. A lot of people say to me things like, don't short sales take longer? Yes. The upside is that there's usually a bigger check than a wholesaling check. Well, David, you're the outsourced king, quote unquote. How are you spending time on wholesale deals? Well, I've put short sale deals. Well, I've put the right people in place on my team so that my role is actually minimal in the short sale deal.
And you're always in Florida.
I look at the agreement. I say whether or not this looks like a winner. I sign off on the agreement.
Yeah.
I control it. Me and my company controls the deal. Okay? But then it's off to the different parts of the maturation of the short sale deal. The person that negotiates it for me. The person that looks at the property for me. The person that snaps the pictures of it for me. The person that visits the BPO agent. Why does it have to be me? Why would I do it better than anybody else that's out there doing it every day for me?
Right.
And what do I do as part of my business concept? It's to include others in the profits of these deals and make sure that they feel like we get paid if this deal closes. Without finalization and conclusion to it,
Nothing.
all of our work was in naught. I was driving over here and I saw Bill Parcells had a billboard that said, "Trying is not good enough." Completing it is. That's our theory. Like, getting close on a deal is okay. I mean, we went through the process, but we got to complete these things, and that's when we all get paid. That keeps community within the team.
Sure.
We're all fighting for the same goal. We all know our different role. We all know how far we should go within that role. And that happens also over time. You notice this with some of the top football teams and stuff. The teams that stay together for 3 or 4 years, they start to know where each other is on the field. You got to do that with your real estate team too. So you start out by doing small things, delegating, developing a team, learning things how to outsource to VAs and virtual assistants. You learn that side. Then you do it with people that maybe you have in-house, or maybe people that are actually part of your team in the same area. You guys congregate once in a while. You can all work in your own home offices if you want, but you congregate. And you just learn how to do it on a regular basis, and it just becomes second nature. To me, delegating is no different than the ease in which I delegate is no different than me doing it myself. The ease of doing something yourself, like writing on this piece of paper, is no different than asking someone, please write that and then transcribe it for me. And if you're comfortable within your own skin of doing that as naturally as everything else, then you have the right to have on your business card, I'm the owner or the boss or the CEO or the president, because otherwise you're just the president of yourself. So
That's that work chart.
Yeah, right.
You,
The work chart.
you. So,
That's my 2 cents, man.
well, that's awesome.
I'm
That's
just,
awesome.
This ain't just a mentorship, this is a life-changing event. I'm gonna take you on directions you never thought possible. Have you laughing in the face of fear. For most of you, this will be the beginnings of a long relationship. But we're gonna get through it together. You apply what we talk about today and your life is gonna change.